Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we'll start our Bayan by Sheikh Mirza Yawar Beg. I would like to remind all of us, I'll just go ahead one more time. Sheikh Yawar Mirza Beg is an author of several Islamic books applied to the current times. He's an international speaker, life coach, trainer, and a facilitator. Today we live in a world that is plagued by enormous problems. Everyone is searching for answers for the question, how can we create a society that is just, merciful, compassionate, and prosperous for everyone who lives in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and told us that his life is the answer, the template to be followed for anyone who wants a life that is full of goodness of all concern. So inshallah, this is the second part of his lecture today. The first one was Who's Allah, and he covered in khutbah. And now is who's Prophet, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And everything is being programmed in a way that we can encourage our brothers and sisters to attend the more intensive Sira Solution workshop tomorrow at 9 a.m. inshallah. It will be a 6-hour session each day, Saturday and Sunday. So it's kind of a spiritual journey for 2 days, and I'm very hopeful that, and first of all, I'm very thankful to the Sheikh to come out overseas and giving ISNS an opportunity to benefit from his knowledge. And inshallah, and I'm pretty hopeful that after the Sira workshop is over, inshallah, on Sunday, we will have something to take home with us. Not only the rewards, the thawab and everything, but also some action plan to work on our own lives, inshallah. This again, he's coming from a professional background, and as far as I know, he's scientist from a profession, so he's not just, what do you call it, fresh off the board. He's, mashallah, he has given a lot of training to the companies, and inshallah he'll cover both part of this world and the religious world as well. So inshallah, without further ado, I would ask Sheikh to give some motivational speech. Jazakumullah khair.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen. Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Tasliman kathiran kathira. Amma ba'du. Qala ta'ala, Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu tasliman. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with many things. He gave us many ni'mat. At an individual level, He gave us many blessings, and each one of us can and should count those blessings and be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for them. We should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He chose to give us all the blessings that He gave us, individually, personally. Collectively, as human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave us many blessings, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself mentioned in the Quran in many places. Some of those ayat I recited in Jumu'ah, in the khutbah, and there are many others in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, concerning His blessings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ تَعَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, which means, say to them, make this alarm, that the one who is grateful to me for my blessings, I will increase them for him. I will give him more barakah in it, I will make them better for him. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِن كَفَرْتُمْ, and the one who is ungrateful for those blessings, إِنَّا عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Allah is making a announcement and declaration to say that let him understand and beware that my punishment is very severe. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this about his blessings. But you know, there's an interesting fact that even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned many things in the Quran which are his blessings, there is only one which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually called his ni'mah. There's only one. They're all ni'mat, all of them are blessings. But there is only one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically used the term ni'mah. Allah said this is the ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, which means truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed and given the mu'mineen the ni'mah. لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah is saying this is the ni'mat of Allah. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I said, gave us many ni'mat. But Allah didn't call it a ni'mat. These are self-evident. Yes, it is a ni'mat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned many things. But specific, لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, truly and verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed the mu'mineen. This is the ni'mat of Allah. And what is the ni'mat of Allah? The Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Double ni'mat. One, that Allah sent His Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And second, that the Nabi is from among them. This is the Izzah. The Nabi could have been a Malak. The Nabi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have sent some Rasul from some other creature of Allah. We know two, we know the Malak and we know the Jinn. We know the angels and the Jinn. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we do not know what all Allah has created. There's nobody can say that only these three, humans, jinn and malaika, maybe 3 million, we don't know. But Allah did not do that. Allah says, بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. I want you to relate these two things, and I will come back to this ayah. The first ayah is from Surah Ibrahim, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِدَنَّكُمْ. So what is the shukr for the ni'mah called Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam? What is the shukr? And Allah is warning. Allah is saying, if you do not do shukr, then my punishment is there for you. What is the shukr? My brothers and sisters, we'll come to there are many things. Inshallah, tomorrow we have got the whole day to talk about that. Inshallah, we'll do that. But my point is that the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the love for Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is not a ikhtiyari thing for a Muslim. It is not something that, alright, I would like to do it, alhamdulillah, but if I don't have too much of that, it's okay, it's my choice, I have no. This is a fundamental pillar of the deen. To love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not a matter of my like or my preference or something. If I do not love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then my deen, my Islam is negated. Huh? So what is this love of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Is it singing Naat and Nasheed and so on and so forth? Alhamdulillah, that is good. MashaAllah, nothing wrong with that. As long as the words are not, going off into some prohibited areas, there is no problem. Alhamdulillah, it's good. We enjoy it, we should do it. But is it only that? There are two things to understand. Number one, love for Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are fundamental principles, pillars of this deen, of Islam. And number two, the way we love Allah and the way we love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is completely different from the way we love anyone and anything else in life. And what is that difference? The love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is expressed by obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala jalla jalaluhu, sami'na wa ata'na ghufranaka rabbana wa ilayka al-masir. Without question. And why do we obey without question? Not because we don't question, because we have already settled that question. And the question that we have already settled is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my creator, He is my Rabb, He is my sustainer, my maintainer. I obey His hukum. By His hukum I live, by His hukum I will die, and to Him is my return. This is a settled question. Therefore, anything that comes from Him, I obey it without question. It doesn't mean I'm obeying blindly. I'm not obeying blindly. I'm obeying with complete and total understanding of who I am obeying. This is the way of expressing love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the love for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how is that to be expressed? By following the sunnah of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Anbiya came to be obeyed. And then Allah took this a step further. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, say to them who claim to love me. To love who? To love Allah. Allah said, say to them who claim to love me, to make your ittiba. Tell them, make my ittiba. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. What is the difference between ittiba and ita'at? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Atiullah wa Atul Rasul many times in the Quran. So why is Allah not saying ita'at here? And why is Allah saying ittiba? There is a big difference between ittiba and ita'at. Ittiba is obedience. There is a hukum and you obey the hukum. So ita'at is obedience. Ita'at is obedience. There is a hukum and you obey the hukum. In the absence of hukum, ita'at is not possible. Right? If I say to my brother Tanveer here, and Tanveer, you are not obeying me. What will he say? He will say, you didn't tell me anything. I mean, you are simply, accusing me of disobedience. You never told me anything. Tell me what to do. Then maybe I will do it, maybe I will not do it. Then you can decide, am I obeying, not obeying. But you have not told me anything at all. You are simply saying you are not obeying me. How is this possible? So, obedience requires a hukum, requires an order. But what is ittiba? Ittiba is one of our young brothers with a baseball hat turned backwards, walking with a kind of, swing in his gait. He walks like this, as if he's got shock absorbers in his knees. Why? Because he is doing the ittiba of Michael Jordan. Does Michael Jordan know he exists? So why is he imitating or emulating Michael Jordan? Why? Because he loves Michael Jordan. So he makes his identity like that of the one he loves. Ittiba, emulation, is a sign of love. We imitate those we love. Many of you must have noticed, little children, they grow out of it, but when they are, especially when they are 2 years old, 3 years old or so, 2, 3, 4, 5, he will come, the little fellow will come into the masjid with his father, and it's almost like seeing a big version and a small version. Huh? He will walk like his father, he will talk like his father, his mother will even probably dress him up like his father. Ittiba. Ittiba is a sign of love. So what is Allah saying? Allah is saying, say to them who claim to love me, to love you. Ya Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Tell them to love you and make your ittiba. Let them emulate you, let them imitate you. And then what will happen? Yuhibbukumullah. Then Allah will love them. Allah will love them. And what is the boundary condition of Allah loving them? What is the minimum? The first thing. يَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Allah will forgive all their sins. Boundary condition, fundamental thing. If Allah loves you, how can you go into Jahannam? Tell me. Not possible, no? So the question to ask is, do you want Allah to love you? Just reflect on this, think about this. Don't just say yes. I know you will say yes, but the point is, don't just say yes just like that. Do you want Allah to love you? And before you answer the question, think about this. What do you think will be the result of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loving you? And when I'm saying loving you, I'm not talking about, and don't think about the result in the akhirah. No, Jannah and all that, inshallah, we will get it. But I'm here, in this dunya. Think about it in this dunya. You know the issue, the problem with our Islam, may Allah forgive us, generally speaking, I'm sure there are exceptions and all power is exceptions. The problem with our Islam is that we have relegated it into one place in our life which is called holy place. Right, so it's there. We go to the masjid, we pray, and so on and so forth, we dress in a particular way. In Ramadan we fast, we give zakat, we go for Umrah, we go for Hajj. And alhamdulillah, khalas, done. But if I were to stand outside this door, or if you were to stand outside this door, and if you stood there and you asked me, you just prayed Salatul Isha by Jama'ah, and we know you came to the masjid, you prayed Salatul Isha by Jama'ah, we know from the hadith of Rasulullah, he said that this is equal to praying for half the night. So alhamdulillah, you got inshallah the sawab of praying for half the night. Number 2, you prayed by Jama'ah, so you got 27 times the reward of that salah. If you had prayed at home, you would have got one reward. You prayed in the masjid, you got 25, 27 times the reward. Alhamdulillah. But other than these two things, if you stand outside and you tell me, you came out, you prayed here, these two things, alhamdulillah, this is yours, leave it. Tell me, what difference did this salah make in your life? And I'll give you an example to judge this. I want you to do some sleep tonight. If I ask you this question, what difference did this salah make to you in this life? What is the answer? To give you an example of this, if this was a restaurant and you had come in here and you had this fantastic, beautiful meal. May Allah bless the Imam. I was listening to the Quran, beautiful Quran, mashallah, may Allah bless him and make the Quran firm in his heart, inshallah. Now you came into this restaurant and you had this beautiful meal. And if I was standing outside the door of the restaurant and I say, what difference did this make in your life? You can answer that in 1 second. No? I was hungry, I am now full. There was a need and the need has been fulfilled. Again. And I won't give you, bad examples. instead of a restaurant, I will not mention other places. You can imagine them for yourself. Because I'm sitting in a masjid, I don't want to give you those examples, but you know what I'm talking about. If somebody was standing outside the door of that bad place, and if he stands and asks this question to the people coming out of there, you spent 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in this bad place, you won't call it bad place, you will call it by whatever name it is. What difference did it make in your life? Can they answer it? Yes or no? Of course. This is what I did, I enjoyed it, I did whatever, I mean maybe what I was doing was haram, but I enjoyed it. But somebody standing outside the masjid, if you ask this question seriously, you prayed and you came out, what difference did it make? How did it change your life? What did it do to you? What is the answer? This is the problem. Why is it a problem? Because despite the fact that we build masajid, we support masajid and we should do all of that, despite the fact that we come and we pray, we still, our lives are full of stress, our hearts are full of fear. We are the victims of depression and we are the victims of Allah knows what. We are worried about this and worried about that. We feel intimidated, we feel weak. Yes or no? Why? Why? You came into the house of Allah, the place of the nuzul of the malaika. You listen to the Quran al-Kareem, which is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you spoke to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the salah is a conversation between the Rabb and His Abd. But then the heart is still the same, the way it was before I came into the masjid, no change. I came into the masjid with all my problems and all my stresses and all my, whatever, and I'm going back with all of them. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. This is the problem with our Islam. Because we have taken this Islam and separated it from the rest of our life. We keep it in one place, like we do with the Quran. I was in the UK and I went to this. I have a deep and abiding interest in education and especially school education. And I speak on that internationally, I've written on it and so on and so forth. So I get invited to various places. I was in England, in London. I was scheduled to speak at an international conference on education. So I visited a couple of schools. I went to Harrow, which is one of the top schools, public schools there. I went to Gordonston, which is in Scotland. And I also wanted to go to a Jewish school, so I asked to go to a place called J-Cos Academy. Jewish community school, which is called J-Cos Academy, one of the top Jewish schools in the country there. So when I went to the school, it's an interesting story, the whole thing. I'm not going to narrate all that because it takes too much of time. But one simple thing I want to tell you. They asked me, they said, please come into any class you like. And one of the classes was on religious knowledge. So I said, let me go and see this class. I went to this class. These were boys and girls about 7 years old. Little kids. So I went in and they all said salam and so on. All Jewish children. So I said to them, what do you know about Islam? Because it's a religious knowledge class, so I thought, are they teaching about Islam? Now this is completely unscripted. I mean, I just walked into the class. It's not as if they had prepared or anything like this. I just walked into the class. So I asked them, what do you know about Islam? So this little girl, she says, Muslims believe in one God and they do not worship idols. So I said, very good. Then another little one says, they believe in the Quran, which is the word of God. This is what the Jewish people are teaching, Jewish children in a Jewish school, believe me. Then she said a very interesting thing. She said the Quran is very holy and it should be kept in a high place. 6 or 7-year-old Jewish child is saying this in a Jewish school in England. Now, when I came out, my wife was with me, so I asked her, I said, should I be happy with this or should I be sad with this? Last comment. So she said, you should be both. Because happy because this is what they are teaching. Alhamdulillah, they are not teaching anything false. They are teaching, those children respect Islam, whatever they know, little bit of it. And sad because even they know that the Quran is something which should be taken and kept in a high place. She is saying it, of course, out of respect, keep it in a high place, don't throw it on the ground. To that extent, yes. But what do we do with the Quran? We keep it in a high place. That's it. Nothing to do with my life. It's here in a high place. I am respecting it. In our country, we also make a envelope of green velvet cloth, and we. Jusdan. लफ्ज़ भी हमारा अच्छे उर्दू हमारे माशाअल्लाह. Now my point is that if you are not going to use something, how will it benefit you? Tell me this. It's very simple. Whatever it is in this world, this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this world al-alam al-asbab. It's the world of means. وَأَلَّيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Allah made this very clear. He said, for a human being, whatever you work for, Allah will give you. So in this life, whatever it is, not only Islam, whatever it is, if it is cold outside and I am walking out there with this North Face, absolute North Face, beautiful jacket which is good for minus 30 degrees Celsius, but I have this jacket draped over my arm and I am shivering there and my teeth are chattering and my bones are chattering and I am saying, oh my God, how cold is it? What will you tell me? You will tell me what is wrong with you, why are you carrying that jacket on your arm? Wear the thing, man. You're freezing to death there, you have the jacket in your hand, you are dragging it on the ground, you are holding it in your arm, you don't want to wear it, and then you want to complain about the coat. I mean, are you nuts or what? Yes? In this life, only what we use benefits us. Knowing something will not benefit us. Knowing that North Face makes such wonderful jackets will not benefit us. Wearing a North Face jacket will benefit us. That is not a promotion for North Face, I'm just. Let me give you another example. I used to do martial arts, I used to do Aikido. So supposing now I say to you that there's a lot of violence in the streets and so on and so forth, and you must learn self-defense. So I'm going to set up here in your masjid, give me a space and I will set up a Aikido dojo and I'm going to teach you how to fight. And I'm combat. Now Aikido we also use swords, but okay, keep the sword aside. So you're all very interested. Yes, we'd like to do. We'd like to learn. Very nice. So we have now this dojo. So now you come there and then you say to me, Sheikh, I said, okay, now let's start. You say, no, not like this. So I tell them, so tell me how. He said, no, Sheikh, please give us a lecture on Aikido. Right? We want you to give us a lecture on Aikido. And then also tell us some, YouTube videos on Aikido which we can watch maybe. So we'll watch them. And if you have any books on Aikido, please give us the books. And Sheikh, I swear to you, I will memorize an entire book. You can test me on it. Right? You can test me on it. Any place in the book you tell me, you start from here, page number 20, you start reading, I will complete it for you. Page number 45, you start reading, I will complete it for you. I will memorize an entire book, I will even read it backwards for you. Now, will that make you an Aikido expert? And then you go out on the street and there's some drunk guy, he grabs you by the throat, now what? You can read from the Aikido book. And brothers and sisters, please understand this. Islam is the name of a practice. Islam is not the name of a theology. Islam is not the name of a theory. Islam is not the name of a philosophy. Islam is not the name of an ideology. Islam कोई नजरिया नहीं है. Islam कोई फलसफा नहीं है. Islam is the name of a practice. Like judo is the name of a practice. Aikido is the name of a practice. Karate is the name of a practice. Kung Fu is the name of a practice. It's not an ideology. You want to learn karate, you want to learn judo, what must you do? You must fall 10,000 times. Fundamental rule, Aikido and judo, 10,000 times you must fall. What does that really mean? If they tell you you have to learn to fall, what is there to learn? There is gravity. What is there to learn? Have you ever known somebody falling upwards? No, I have to learn to fall downwards, otherwise I will go upwards. Have you ever seen that? No. So what is there to learn? So are you learning to fall? Or are you learning to fall in such a way that you don't hurt yourself? Are you learning to fall in such a way that you fall and get up? Which one is it? So just fall. This is the difference between how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught this deen and how we learn this deen. 10,000 times falling. Then what happens? Then you go outside there and somebody wants to attack you and suddenly he discovers gravity. He attacks you and you help him to discover gravity. Yeah? You teach him science. When he's trying to attack you, you're teaching him science. You make him friend with Mother Earth. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called his Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam Ni'mah. لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعْثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ. And then Allah said 4 things. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. What is this practice called Islam? 4 things. What is the way of teaching? These 4 steps. What is the way of learning? These 4 steps. What are the 4 steps? يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ. Tell them what was revealed to you. Recite to them the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inform them. The teaching step is to inform, to recite. For the listener, for the student, what must he do? He must listen carefully. And then what? وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Purify them. Why? Because it's not just a matter of listening and going home. Today we listen to the qiraat of whichever qari, so mashallah, mashallah, what beautiful recitation. What are you really appreciating? A tune. No? You are only appreciating a tune. So what is the difference between appreciating this tune or appreciating some other tune? There is no difference. Sounds nice to the ears. Is that the purpose of the revelation of the Quran? To sound nice to the ears? Entertainment value? No. If it didn't change your life, if it did not enter your heart, if it didn't make you something better than what you were before you heard that, then what's the point of listening to that? So that is why after listening, what did Allah say? وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Purify them. Think about this. You listen to something, what is the purification? For what? Because something has to be done with that. Purify because it doesn't end with listening. The listening is only the information, now get ready. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ. Purify them because this thing which you have informed them, this has to go and sit in the heart, and this will not sit in a heart which is dirty. This is the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is pure. So purify them. And then يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ. And teach them that. Now think about that. This is being said to whom? I mean, it teaches them that if it comes to people like us, one can understand Arabic is not our language. Somebody has to teach us, must explain to us the meaning and tafsir and this and that. But for the Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, Allah Himself said the Quran came in their language. To this day, if there is among the linguists, if there is a difference of opinion on a particular word, the understanding of a particular word in the Quran, where do they go? What is the root place they look for? The understanding of the Sahaba. They say, how did the Sahaba understand this word? They don't go and say, what is it today in modern Arabic, what is it today in colloquial Arabic? No. How was this understood by the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Can we find some evidence of that? Was there any discussion? Is there some record of how the Sahaba understood this word? That is taken as the rule. But Allah is saying, even though those were people like this, the Quran came in their own language. They have heard the Quran in the beautiful voice of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah is saying that is not sufficient. Ya Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you teach them that. Just reciting it, informing it is not enough. You teach them that. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ, and teach them wisdom. Teach them the wisdom of that. Teach them how to apply it. To illustrate with an example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أقيموا الصلاة إنني أنا الله لا إله إلا أنا فاعبدني وأقم الصلاة لذكري. In Surah Taha, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this ayah. I am your Rabb, I am Allah. There is no one worthy of worship except me. So establish Salah for my remembrance, for my zikr. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam recited this ayah, the Sahaba say, Alhamdulillah, Ya Rasulullah, we are ready. So what is the next step? Purification. Go make wudu, go make ghusl, check your clothes, check the place you are going to pray, is it clean? What is the state of your heart? All of this ghusl, wudu is external. What about internal? Is this heart full of hatred? Is this heart full of fear? Is this heart full of shirk? In this heart, am I looking to somebody else to help me? Is this heart full of jealousy? Is this heart full of, bigotry? Heart needs to be clean. How can the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sit in a heart which is filled with hatred for people? So purification. And then, how is the salah to be done? Allah said, establish salah. What does it mean? If we did not have the guidance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today may Allah forgive us, there are people who say the Quran is enough for me. And this is not new. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned this in the hadith. He said there will come a time when people will say this. Okay, so Quran is enough for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Aqim salah. Now do salah, let me see. Without referring to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let me see how you establish salah. That's why I said the Nabi is a ni'mat of Allah. And I'm not my claim. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابِ, teach them the book, wal-hikmah, practice. This is a beautiful hadith where a whole lot of young people came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Youth, young people, boys. And they stayed with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for 21 days in Masjid Nabawi Sharif. They were the guests of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Rawi of the hadith, he says that at the end of that period, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sensed that maybe we were a bit homesick or something, because they had come from far distances, from different tribes. So he asked us, he said, do you want to go back home? Now imagine always put yourself in that situation. When you hear these hadiths, put yourself in that situation. Imagine they are there with Rasulullah. What can be more beautiful than that? They came there because they wanted to be there, so they loved Nabi. Nobody dragged them there. They want to stay there, but they are human. They are, and are missing their parents and missing their siblings perhaps and so on and so forth. And the Nabi alayhi salam is asking them, you want to go home? You're missing your parents. Now what will they say? They don't want to say yes because it will seem as if they are not appreciating where they are. They don't want to say no because it's not the truth. That's kind of. Rasulullah smiled and he said to them, he gave them some advice and then he said to them, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. He said to them that when you go there, then at the time of Salah, one of you call the Adhan and then one of you lead Salah, the oldest of you lead the Salah and pray as you have seen me pray. Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Aw kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. Who is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? This is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Nabi of Allah, the Imam al-Anbiya, the Sayyid al-Mursaleen, after whom there is no Nabi and after whom there is no Rasul. The Hamil al-Quran, the one to whom the Quran came. The one to whom Al-Kawthar is given, the one who will be, Insha'Allah al-Musta'an al-Muqam al-Mahmud, the one who will be given Jannatul Firdaus al-Ala bi ghayri hisab, and we ask Allah to include us among them with him. This one is concerned with little kids, he is concerned with young boys, he is concerned with them, he sits with them 21 days, can you imagine? If somebody puts me in a room for 21 days with the millennials, that's my idea of hell on earth. 21 days, he is with them, the tarbiyah of these people, those children. They are eating with him, they are sleeping there, when he is praying, they are watching him pray, they are praying salah with him. I envy the Sahaba for many things, but the thing I envy the Sahaba the most, wallahi, the most that I envy the Sahaba for is that they prayed salah behind Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That they heard the Quran in the voice of the one who received that kalam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that was the only generation when they stood behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is the only generation. When they heard the recitation of the Quran, they remembered the asbabul nuzul of those ayats. They remembered the circumstances of revelation of those ayats. We also know asbabul nuzul because we study that in the madaris. But this is a study. We heard that, we read the report of that. I was not there. You were not there. But Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was there, and Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu was there, and Zubair and Sa'ad bin Mu'adh and Mu'adh bin Jabal radiallahu anhu, they were there. Imagine you are standing, the Sahaba are standing behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are praying salah, and put yourself in there, stand in the same stuff with them. Who is on your right, who is on your left, who is in the head of you? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reciting, Lillahi ma fi samawati wa ma fi al-ard, wa in tubdu ma fi anfusikum aw tukhfuhu yuhasibukum bihi Allah, فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. He's standing there, he's reciting, they're listening. But you know something? They are remembering. They are remembering that day when this ayat was revealed. They are remembering what happened when this ayat was revealed. There are some of them, personally, they are remembering that when this ayat was revealed, I was among that group which went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we fell down on our knees before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to pray and we pray. Allah ordered us to pray and we pray. Allah ordered us to give zakat and we give zakat. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Lillahi ma fi samawati wa ma fil ard. Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبْكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ. Whatever is inside you and whatever you speak, your thoughts and your desires and your speech and your actions are known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will hold you accountable for it. فَيُعَذِّبُ مَن يَشَاءُ وَيَغْفِرُ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. And Allah will punish if He wants to punish, and Allah will forgive if He wants to forgive. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do whatever He wants. Ya Rasulullah, what will happen to us? We will be destroyed because we have control over our tongues, we have control over our actions, but Ya Rasulullah, we have no control over our thoughts, we have no control over our desires. Things come and go. I don't want to think bad thoughts. I don't want to have bad desires, but I am human. But Allah is saying that He will hold me accountable, He will punish me. Ya Rasulullah, where will I go? As Rasulullah is reciting this, there are Sahaba there who are remembering this. Because they were there. They were there. And they remember it. And they know that I was one of them. And then they remember what Rasulullah did. What did he do? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Let me ask you this question before I tell you and this is all of this is in Al-Waqidi's Asbab al-Nuzul, the kitab. My question to you is this. This question is ma'ruda. This is not even a question. This is a humble submission of the Sahaba to Rasulullah. Tell me, does it sound reasonable to you, or do you think it is unreasonable? And them asking this question, do you think it's justifiable, reasonable? Yes or no? Yeah? But what was the reaction? What was the response of Rasulullah? The narrator of the hadith, he says, the blessed face of Muhammad became red with anger. And he said, are you going to be like those who said, Sama'na wa asayna? We hear but we will not do it. We hear but we will not obey. He said, Qul Sama'na wa ata'na ghufranaka rabbana wa ilayka al-masir. He said, say, O our Rabb, we hear and we obey. Forgive us, and to you is our return. As Rasulullah was reciting these ayat, there are Sahaba there who are remembering this. This is the only generation that is their fadila. No one after them had a personal memory of those things. Everyone other than the Sahaba heard from somebody, including Sahaba. The Sahaba experienced it themselves. And they will recall and remember what happened. Nothing happened. They said what Rasulullah told them to say, they repeated, Sama'na wa ata'na, ghufranaka rabbana wa ilayka al-masir. And then what happened? Nothing happened. For how long did nothing happen? For 12 months or 1 year? For 1 year the Sahaba lived with this ayah. Today we recite, we go away, it makes no difference. For them it was something which was so heavy. For 1 year they lived with this ayah that Allah is going to hold me accountable for my thoughts and my desires as well as for my speech and my actions. What about those who passed away during that 1 year? They didn't know what was to come. This was the tarbiyah of the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, and that is why they became so strong that one single person was enough for a whole country. Imagine the spiritual training, the power of that spiritual training which is being given to them. How tough is it? How difficult is it? And then after 1 year, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the Ruqsa. When Jibreel Islam came with the last two ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, and we all know the fadail of those ayat, how amazing those ayat are. Rasulullah said, the one who recites these two ayat before he goes to sleep, that is sufficient for him for the whole night, and if he recites them in the morning, that is sufficient for him for the whole day. And Jibreel Islam came. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كلنا آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. And then Allah sent the Ruqsa. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Allah said, Allah does not give you difficulty more than what you can bear. So for you will be what you do. So what you do and what you say, your thoughts, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam explained, he said your thoughts and your desires, Allah will not hold you responsible for that, as long as you don't convert that thought or desire into an action. And then Allah rewarded the Sahaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I began from where I said, what is the benefit of Allah loving you? Huh? Allah loved the Sahaba. Allah told us He loved the Sahaba. Allah taught them to make dua. Think about this. I go to somebody with an application, I want this person to approve this application, I don't know this person, so I go to you and I say, Razawai, please help me with this application, what do you think I should write, and so on and so forth. But how about if the person who is going to approve the application himself gives you a draft and just write it like this and give it back to me? Who do we make dua to? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only Allah, because there is no one who accepts dua except Allah. And Allah is teaching the Sahaba what dua to make. رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَّسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا رَبَّنَا وَلَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِصْرًا كَمَا حَمَلْتَهُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِنَا رَبَّنَا وَلَا تُحَمِّلْنَا مَا لَا طَاقَةَ لَنَا بِهِ وَاعْفُ عَنَّا وَاغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا أَنْتَ مَوْلَانَا فَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ. Amin. This was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and these were his Sahaba. These were their times. And the reason I am saying all of this to you is because the one unchangeable fact is that times will change, but Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and our relationship with him will never change. And as long as we are true to that, as long as we are faithful to that, we can expect to get the same rewards, the same power, the same connection as the Sahaba had to Allah. This is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. Whoever you are, whichever time you live in, whether you lived in the 7th century or the 14th century or the 20th century or the 2000th century or the 10 billion century, this is our aqidah. The Quran is applicable until when? There is no final expiry date for the Quran. The Quran is applicable as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps this world. Until the day of judgment, the Quran is applicable, and even on the day of the judgment, the Quran will intercede for us. So the Quran is there also. So what Allah promised was not only for the Sahaba. There is no limitation of time. What Allah promised is also for you and me, provided. And I want to close with this. Every promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the kalam is conditional. Every single thing. Allah says, do this, I will do this. Do this, I will do this. Fadhkuruni adhkurkum. Allah did not say, do not make my zikr, but I will make your zikr. No. Fadhkuruni adhkurkum. You make my zikr, I will make your zikr. And wala dhikrullahi akbar. So you make my zikr and that is at your level, but when I make your zikr, this is at a different level altogether. So the barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's reward far exceeds whatever we do in our actions. But that action has to be there for the barakah. So ittiba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, emulation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will open the doors for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to love you. So if somebody told me, give me only one reason to study the seerah, I don't want any more, only one single reason to study the seerah, I will say that one single reason to study the seerah is so that Allah will love you. Because you cannot emulate Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without knowing what he did. How do we know that? By studying the seerah. This is what I have tried to do in this course and in this book. I wrote 2 books on the seerah. One is called Leadership Lessons from the Life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was the first book. There is a course based on that, which is a 4 to 5 day residential program, which starts with the Tahajjud and ends with after Isha. So it's you think this is intensive? Come to that. Every country we do that course in, the first conversation we have is standard. People say, oh Sheikh, impossible. This country, 5 days to people to take 5 days off, impossible, cannot happen. And Sheikh, you start with Tahajjud, you go till Isha, they will all die. We have been doing that course now for 5 years. Nobody died yet. It is the barakah of the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the barakah of studying the life of Rasulullah. But you know, like gulab jamun, until you eat it, you don't know what it is. So it's an experiential thing, huh? Marana is laughing. Seriously, you have to eat it. How do you explain? Gulab jamun, how do you explain that? You have to eat it. So also with this course. So then I wrote another book called Seerah is the Answer, which you will get the book and so on and so forth tomorrow. And this course is based on that, which is, you know, a sort of lighter version if you want to call it. So it's 2 days and it's non-residential. But the purpose of all this, of both these courses, is to help us to take the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lived in the 7th century, and show us how that life is applicable and must be applied to our lives today in the 21st century. This course is not only for Muslims. We have had sometimes people who are not Muslim come and attend the course. I asked one of them, I said, how do you, he said, you know, we study so many biographies, why not this? I said, sure, why not? But as Muslims, even more, I mean, who is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He is for the whole world, right? Rahmatul lil Alameen. But specifically is ours. And that is what this course will do, inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, may Allah guide you, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with you, may understanding him and to understanding the life of Rasulullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring you and make you totally and completely obedient to himself Jalla Jalaluhu and on the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may Allah make you among those who will run to follow that sunnah because you see the value of that. And then may Allah fill your life with the barakah and the value of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you and protect you, and may Allah reward you, and may Allah grant all your du'as with afiyah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you what you ask, and may Allah give you more than what you ask in line and in keeping with His majesty and grace. وصلى الله على نبي الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا رب.